Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to VLOGMAS. Today's video is more talk about series. This is a series tag that Mara from Books Like Woe created. I love Mara's content. Her VLOGMAS content I've basically been watching every day, really into it. And she did this little series tag, and then someone, I wasn't gonna do it because I was like, I'm talking about series a lot. And then someone in the comments of my last video about series was like, are you gonna do the series tag? And I was like, yes. So here we are talking about series again. But I love talking about series and I feel like you guys like hearing about series. And I love watching videos about series. So like it's a win all around. So let's get into it. There's a ton of questions and there's some like alternate questions and stuff that she did. So I will tell you like which question I'm answering and everything, obviously. What is the best series that you caught up with this year that is still a work in progress? I would say that is the Locked Tomb series by Tamsin Muir. The fourth and final book comes out next year. I'll be talking about the series more in this series tag, but yeah. This is the one that I caught up on, which I'm always caught up. Like I read this like a month after it came out, I'm pretty sure, not even. So I stay caught up on this series. This one has two options, but I'm gonna go with what is the best completed series that you're still catching up with? The Kate Daniels series by Alana Andrews. This is a series that I started, did I start it this year? I think that I did. This is an urban fantasy series. It's really well written. I really enjoy them. And this is a completed series, but I'm hoping to not catch up on it next year completely, like not finish it. I just don't know if that's gonna happen, but make some solid progress on it in 2023 as well. What was your favorite first book in a series this year? Iron Widow by Siren J. Zhao. This just, it was pretty hyped and I wasn't sure, and then it like really blew me away. So this one knocked it out of the park for me. What is the first book in a series that you read this year that you think should have been a standalone, not a series? This is a series that I actually DNF'd. It's the These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I've basically heard that the second book is just a repeat of the first with like a little bit of switched perspectives around, and like, no, it could have been a standalone, dear. What is your most overhyped series of the year? The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I read this first book. It was fine. I was intrigued enough by the end, but for how much hype it got, like I was really thinking I was gonna like it more, and I'm gonna continue with the series, but like, again, for how much hype it gets, whatever. What is a series that you DNF'd this year? I actually DNF'd 5, and I did a whole video on that, so I will link that on the screen. What was your favorite series finale of the year? That has to go to Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. I read this whole series this year. I mean, I did start City of Brass a few years ago, but then I reread and then continued with the series. And yeah, this was like one of the defining series of 2022 for me. What was the biggest cliffhanger in a series that you read this year? I don't know if it counts because I reread it. Let's go with it. Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Yeah, I reread this to read the second book, which I'm currently reading as of the filming of this video. And it wasn't a cliffhanger in that like, I need the second book right now, because I don't really tend to read a lot of cliffhangers that are quite like that, but this is the one that I feel like had the most like, what? That you want to continue with at the end of the book. What is your favorite spin-off series you read this year? I haven't read any spin-off series this year. What is your most anticipated next book in a series that you read this year that will come out next year? I feel like I have a few for this. Electra the Ninth, the final book in the Locked Tomb series, is supposed to come out next year, hopefully. I mean, we haven't gotten an official announcement, but I'm thinking it'll come out in the fall. Hopefully the next Legendborn will come out next year. Again, I don't know, because the second Legendborn got delayed, so this one could get delayed too, but like potentially. And then Heavenly Tyrant, which is the second book in that like Iron Widow series, it's gonna for sure come out. So that one maybe is the safest bet. What is your most anticipated series to catch up with next year based on what you read in that series this year? I kind of have two for this because one, again, was a reread, but of a series that I officially started this year, First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. I really liked this. I'm excited to get to the next installments, and this series is now completed, so I'd like to finish it next year. And the next one is Black Sun, or I forget the name of the actual, Earth and Sky? Series, Book of Earth and Sky. But this Fever Star is already out. I want to catch up on it, and then maybe the next book in Black Sun will come out next year. I don't know. I don't think that's been announced yet. But I reread Black Sun like just this month and loved it. What is your favorite series that you finished this year? The Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers. So good. Every book is 5 stars in this series. I love it so much. What is your favorite episodic series of the year? Again, I don't really read episodic series. What is a series that you finally bailed on after holding on to it for a long time? I talked about this in the DNF'd video, but Stray by Rachel Vincent. This one I gave too many chances, and I wasn't gonna come back to it, and then I did, but I loved the first book. I hated the second book, and then I was like, maybe. I read the third book and it was like kind of better. Like not great, and then I read the fourth book and hated that, so then I finally gave up. But I could have stayed given up after book 2. What is a series that you were most surprised that you liked this year? The This Poison Heart duology by Kaylin Bayron. I did not have really any expectations going into this first book, and I loved it. And I don't love the second book in the duology quite as much, but I still really like it overall and still recommend it to people. It's just a really solid YA series that I wasn't expecting to be like as quality as it is. That's me being judgy of YA these days, I know, but I just feel like YA has dipped in quality a lot recently, and this holds up. What is a series that you meant to catch up with or finish this year that you didn't? Those are my graphic novel series. Monstrous by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. This one I did start right before my vacation, but I don't remember what even happened, so I'll have to restart it. But I need to read volumes 5, 6, and 7 might be out now. But I wanted to catch up on the series. I wanted to read at least 5 and 6. Maybe I will before the end of the year. I mean, I'm filming this like little more than midway through December, and like maybe in that like Christmas break week I'll read a bunch of short books. Like, I don't know, maybe, but probably not. That's a bummer because I've been saying for years I want to catch up with this. And finally, what is a series that you finished this year that you think is greater than the sum of its parts? For that, I would say the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. I liked this series. I would say even like loved this series. Loved this series. It ended up being almost like a 4-star overall for me as like a series, but like also thematically and like what it did, I also kind of think is 5 stars. So I loved the first book, didn't really like the second. The second book was still like 4 stars, but like first book was 5 stars, second book was like 4 stars, and this one was like 4.5, but I do kind of think overall it's a 5-star as far as like the themes and the depiction of war and the like our character sort of descent into just being like a weapon and like some of the things that it does. But especially this final book, I think could have been 2. I've talked about this, I had a whole like review on it. But this one I think dropped the ball a little bit, but like overall what it was doing I think is super solid. So yeah, that is a series tag. I love talking about series, so you know, any excuse to talk about series, and I will. But comment below, let me know some of these answers to these questions for you for 2022. Again, look forward to my planned series reading videos that'll come up in 2023. So if you like talking about series, honestly, let me know that down below too, because I feel like my hypothesis is correct and most people really enjoy talking about series. But yeah, you will have more of those in 2023 as well. So thank you all for watching. I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.